Hello, babes. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new, welcome. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about the movie The Roommate, which is basically a remake of the 1992 film Single White Female, a film I love as well and we'll be doing a breakdown of. But my girl Leighton Meester starred in it, and I remember going to the movies to see it and really enjoyed it. The movie theater really was a much better experience when going to see highly anticipated films back then. You just picked whatever seat you wanted to sit in, and tickets weren't overly priced. Those snacks have always been though. Now, I don't like scary movies. I actually hate them, but I love a good drama or psychological thriller like Disclosure, Fatal Attraction, Single White Female, Malice, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. You get it. So upon trying to upload the video, I got hit with multiple copyright claims. So you guys won't be getting as many clips. I'll mainly be seeing pictures, maybe a few clips, but Sony just does the entire most, even if it's just for 3 seconds. So let's get into it. Welcome to Iconically Iconic. The movie opens up with Sara, played by the beautiful Minka Kelly, moving into her dorm. Right away, she meets Tracy and they hit it off. Later on, Tracy tells her there's a party going on, so the girls decide to go. The girls are having a good time and end up a little drunk from the spiked punch. This pissed me off. Disgusting, thirsty men using alcohol to get women into bed. I have so much to say about this, but I can't say yeah. But this scene disgusts me. That's also when Sara meets Steven, who accidentally spills beer on her just to start a conversation.
You spike the punch.
You spike it.
Yeah.
Nice.
What's going on? Y'all are going to jail! Period!
Later admits it's a move the guys there use. Red flag behavior, but anyway, moving along. Tracy ends up flashing people at the party, so they rush her out of there. There are some people who you can't hang out with because instead of having fun and enjoying yourself, you're playing babysitter, and they get out of hand and get too drunk, lose awareness of their surroundings, and forget that you're both women who, while yes, you can have fun, you also need to be alert because of the creeps who are just waiting and lurking around. So Sara stumbles and drunk later that night into her dorm, and that's when she first meets her roommate, Rebecca, but she barely remembers it the next morning.
Hey, Sarah. You met me last night. Alright, starts with an R. Rebecca. Here, take these. It'll help.
Sara is the sweet friend who likes to make others feel comfortable and welcomed, so naturally she starts trying to bring Rebecca in and make her feel welcomed. Rebecca is played by the beautiful and lovely Miss Leighton Meester, who absolutely killed it as the unhinged best friend. I've always felt she deserved way more roles in films. She really becomes her character. But unfortunately, once you're known for playing a teen on a show, it's hard for people to see you as a serious actress. Also, a shout out to the stunning Miss Cat Graham. She only had like 3 small scenes, but she always stands out to me, just beautiful. So Sara introduces Rebecca to the group, and Rebecca is not feeling Tracy. And I'll be honest, I wasn't a fan of her either. Love Allie, hey girl, hey, but didn't like the character Tracy, and I also didn't like her character in Easy A, which maybe I should do a breakdown of. Let me know if you would like a breakdown of the movie Easy A.
What can we call you? How about Reba? How about Becca? How about Becky? Becky's good. Yeah, Becky. I like Rebecca.
Even though Tracy is being nice, you can immediately sense that Rebecca has this weird standoffish energy. Nothing alarming yet, but still. Later, Tracy comes to get Sara to go clubbing and politely invites Rebecca, who declines because she's already jealous and wants Sara to herself. Baby, you just met her. You need to relax.
It's getting weird.
Also, side note, Sara's ex-boyfriend keeps calling her even though she clearly wants nothing to do with him. Their breakup wasn't on good terms, and that whole situation will come back up later. Anyway, Sara and Tracy are out at the club having a chill night, you know, just some drinks and the girls hanging out and having fun. Nothing wild. And once again, Tracy goes off with some guy and just straight up leaves Sara behind. Sara went to the bathroom and came back, and Tracy was just gone. Gone, girl. And this is what pissed me off so bad. Why would you leave your friend alone at the club? First and foremost, that is a huge no-no. Anything could have happened. But because you're so thirsty for some random guy, you abandon your friend? And Tracy had Sara's phone, so she couldn't even contact anyone. As women, we're supposed to move together when we're at the club. When I go out with my friends, which I rarely do anymore, I don't really do the club scene, but when we did go out, bathroom trips, exits, everything, we were moving all together at once. You're supposed to let each other know where you're going, who you're going with. No, you're not their parent, but it is very important for you to know where your friend is going. It's also not just about safety, it's basic respect. The way some of y'all wander off for a man you just met is honestly scary as well, because you do not know these people. These are random strangers at a club. You do not know these people. You don't know anything about their past, background, anything. It is a literal stranger. Stranger danger. Stranger danger. It applies to adults as well. And it's very desperate and irresponsible as well, because you're putting yourself and your friend in harm's way. So Sara ends up calling Rebecca, and even though it's late, Rebecca comes to pick her up.
Car. So where's Tracy? I have no idea. Well, as long as I'm here, I'm hungry.
And what really got me was that Tracy didn't even check if Sara got home safe. She didn't text her, she didn't call, no apology. Granted, they just met, but still, that's common decency, especially if you're trying to build a friendship. It just shows that Tracy isn't someone you can trust, because she'll just wander off. She'll literally leave you by yourself. So the next day, Sara and Rebecca bond. They're sharing the things they like, go to an art gallery. Sara tells Rebecca about her sister Emily that passed.
It's my older sister. She died when I was 9. I'm sorry. It's okay.
And about The Devil Wears Prada being one of her favorite films. And same, girl, we are here with each other because that is one of my favorite movies. Sara finds a kitten outside and brings it into the dorm. Although it's not allowed, they decide to keep it. Now, I will say, in the beginning, Rebecca was okay. I felt like she was a good friend in the beginning, and she for certain would not have left Sara in the club by herself.
Wow. I thought you'd like it. Oh.
Tracy sees Sara and apologizes after leaving her, but only because Sara had to tell her to, and not even tell her to, but basically say, is that all you have to say to me?
So, tell us if we cap tonight? Come here, go. Why? So you can ditch me again? Sarah, the guy had a Porsche and a hot tub. That's your apology? Listen, okay. What I meant to say is, I'm sorry. I totally screwed up. Forgive me, please. I forgive you.
And she only apologized because she wanted her to go to party with her yet again. Girl, are you not tired of partying?
I'm gonna pray for her.
Who are you looking for now? Sara accepts because she's sweet and she doesn't hold a grudge, unlike me, who is a Taurus, and I hold a grudge. So she would not have been forgiven if it was me. Sara accepts and Rebecca overhears. Rebecca, what are you doing in the shadows?
Always feel like somebody's watching me.
Anyways, Sara cancels her date so she can attend a concert with Rebecca, and y'all, Sara gives her her earrings to wear, and this girl pushes a hole in her ear just to wear them. Her ears weren't even pierced. Girl, are you okay?
Hey.
What is this, honey?
Is anybody upstairs? You had to be a nut that fell and cracked straight from the nut tree to do this. Now, here's where Rebecca starts showing her Looney Tunes behavior. She literally sits in front of Tracy's dorm room. Like, girl, what in the hell?
Rebecca.
How long were you even sitting there for? What time of night was it? How did you know that she would open her door? Were you going to sleep out there all night? I have so many questions. Then she just walks off. Tracy, you in danger, girl.
Molly, you in danger, girl.
Tracy tells Sara about it, Though Sarah's a little annoyed with her at this point, still, Tracy tries to warn her that something's off with Rebecca, and she's not wrong.
Listen, something is up with your roommate.
What do you mean? I opened my door and there she was, just sitting there staring like some psycho.
But because of how Tracy abandoned her at the club, Sarah kind of brushes it off. When she tells Rebecca what Tracy said, whew, the wheels on Rebecca's crazy bus started going round and around. And trust, she had something real special planned for Miss Tracy. Tracy, I told you, you in danger, girl. Sarah goes to meet her close friend Irene, who is a fashion designer, and then goes to meet with Steven. Now, while these two are out enjoying themselves, Rebecca must have been listening to little voices in her mind that told her she needed to go get Tracy while Tracy's in the shower. Now, I don't know about you guys, but once those lights went out in that shower, I would have made my exit expeditiously, even if it meant leaving my towel behind. No, ma'am. Especially considering the fact that that girl was sitting in front of your door like that. And I swear, any girl who had a belly piercing around this time, you felt when Rebecca snatched her piercing out. I still can't watch that scene. And then Rebecca was standing over Tracy like that hook hand man, and I know what you did last summer.
And you are a bad influence on her.
You tell anyone about this, I will kill you.
So Sarah isn't home yet. She's still out enjoying her date with Steven, and Rebecca is sitting up waiting for her like she's her mother and was late for curfew.
Where were you? Kept on calling and calling.
Now, don't get me wrong, I do think Sara could have called Rebecca back. It's natural to worry as a friend, especially considering the fact that Tracy had left her out and she was going out with this random guy. Yes, she met him, once or twice, but he's still a random guy that she doesn't know. But girl, this is not it. She actually went in the hall and was like, excuse me, where you been? Why you didn't call me? What's going on here?
Like, why are you so obsessed with me?
So now Rebecca has her crazy little eye on Steven. I feel like something had to happen for Rebecca to get like this. Maybe a trauma in her childhood that caused her to latch onto people in this extreme way because people always left her or she always felt alone. There was definitely some underlying trauma that caused her to not only have this anxiety, but also becoming extremely attached. Anyway, Sara is spending the night with Steven and her ex calls yet again. But this time she left her phone back at the dorm by accident. So what does Rebecca do? This nutbush picks up the phone, has phone sex with him, and is fantasizing about Sara the entire time. Oh my, I have no words. She is clearly not all there. Now I think all of the marbles are missing in her jar. Later, Sara goes to visit Irene, and since Irene is barely home, she offers Sara the chance to move in, which honestly makes perfect sense. She'd have way more space, and she wouldn't have to deal with a clingy, unhinged roommate anymore. But when Sara tells Rebecca that she's thinking about moving out and casually mentions that she'd be able to keep Cuddles, the adorable, cute little kitten, Rebecca snaps. Not in Sara's face, of course, though. She decides she can't let that happen, so what does she do? She puts the poor kitten in the dryer. Girl, where is Peter? Like, how evil and callous do you have to be to do something that dark to an innocent animal? That is full-on Michael Myers behavior. When Sara comes back and Rebecca tells her what happened, Sara is clearly upset. And I feel so bad for her. She's such a sweetheart, but she's also kind of naive. She always tries to see the best in people, even when they don't mean her any good. But I also think it's because of her upbringing. She probably came from a really loving family, or maybe she was a people pleaser. We didn't really get to meet her parents or anything, so I'm not sure. In the next scene, Sara's disgusting professor pushes up on her. He's worked with big name designers and is a designer himself, which is exactly the field Sara wants to get into. But he's also the kind of man who uses his power to manipulate and exploit women.
The offer still stands, sir. Chance of a lifetime.
Sara confides in Rebecca, and Rebecca, being Rebecca, is secretly saying to herself, "Oh, it's handled."
What's wrong? My design professor just kissed me.
Are you alright?
And I think the asshole's married.
Which means it's time for revenge. So Rebecca sets him up She pretends to seduce him and records the whole thing, but makes it look as though he's forcing himself on her. And listen, did he need to lose his job and face consequences? Absolutely, because I'm sure Sara was not the only girl he's done this to. But what Rebecca did, fabricating serious assault allegations to get him out, was not okay at all. Was he a scumbag? Absolutely. But there were other ways to expose his behavior without taking it to that extreme. While Sarah's out on a date with Steven, Rebecca decides this is the moment she needs to beat herself up.
Oh, hell no. I know that dress ain't got you thinking that kind of.
She was truly insane in the membrane. Sara comes home, sees the aftermath, and Rebecca lies and says she went looking for cuddles and got attacked.
Don't tell anybody, please.
Okay.
Also, wanted to talk about how much they look so much alike, which was obviously done on purpose, just like with single white female, but they look so much alike. Also, Minka Kelly kind of reminds me of J-Lo in her younger days, but this was all a part of Rebecca's twisted plan. She wanted Sara all to herself, isolated from anyone who loved her, because in her mind, only she deserved to be close to Sara. So she takes Sara back to her parents' house, and while her parents seem like they love her, it's clear that there are underlying issues between them.
We didn't think you'd make it.
Why wouldn't I?
I definitely feel like there was some neglect in that household, or maybe some distance. Something had to have gone very wrong for Rebecca to turn out like this. She came off as a recluse who latched on to anyone who gave her attention in the most obsessive and deranged way possible. Her parents even seemed scared of her. Like she must have terrorized that whole house growing up. Throwing material things at your child doesn't make you a good parent. Rebecca clearly had mental health issues, and instead of properly addressing them, it seemed like her parents just threw money at the problem. Like, as long as she's taking her meds, she's fine. No, she's not. Are parents always to blame? No. Sometimes you can provide for your child with all the love and support in the world, and they still will choose their own path. Yes, they knew she had an issue, but I don't think they were there dealing with the issue with her. I could be wrong, but it seemed like the moment she would probably lash out, they would give her her way so that she wasn't lashing out and thinking that it would fix the problem when it didn't. They go to this coffee shop that Rebecca claims she used to visit every day, and that's when they run into her old friends. And I say friends in quotation marks. Except something is off immediately. It's clear that Maria, the girl Rebecca was obsessed with, is part of this group, and the real reason Rebecca used to come to that coffee shop every day was because of her. I don't know if it was a friendship, or maybe she was just stalking her, or maybe Maria was nice to her a few times and she took that to mean that they're now best friends. When Rebecca walks up to them, the group looks visibly uncomfortable, which was the same way they looked when they came to the coffee shop. Maria had left when she came to the coffee shop and her friends ordered for her, which made me believe that they were protecting her from Rebecca. And you can tell they're confused about why she's even speaking to them. Then Maria makes it clear they were never friends.
We were never friends.
Honey, Maria said,
"You're a dreamer. You dream a lot and you're sleep." No, not really.
and that's when it all really starts clicking for Sara. Back at the dorms, Rebecca goes out and pretends not to know Irene. Also, just to backtrack really quickly, her father also asked if she was taking her medication and if she's doing well, and says that they're fond of her, which I always thought was so weird, instead of just saying you love your child. But anyway, this is when Sara finds out that Rebecca takes medication. So back at the dorms, Rebecca goes out and pretends not to know Irene because she plans on getting with her, and then proceeds to hook up with her just to get her away from Sara. Then she tells Sara she wants to get a tattoo, and Father God, why did she get Sara's sister's name tattooed on her? And then has the nerve and unmitigated gall to tell Sara, you can call me Emily if you want.
You can think of me as your sister. Call me Emily if you want.
Now, why would she do that? At that point, Sara had enough. She packs her things and leaves. So in the next scene, we have Rebecca slicing and dicing that chair like it's a steak. Then Sarah's ex-boyfriend Jason stops by and leaves a note saying where he's staying. Rebecca sees it, dyes her hair, tracks him down, gets in the bed with him, and she takes him out. I also didn't see the purpose of them dyeing her hair black when at the end of the movie her hair is still blonde. They needed to correct that. That man did not deserve that. She was so jealous of anyone who ever had any connection to Sara, and she just had to get them out of the way, even if they weren't together anymore. And this is exactly why you have to be very cautious around people who are overly clingy or possessive early on or even in general. It's not a sign of love. It's honestly a red flag. And it's one that should never be brushed off. People who form extreme attachments that quickly are often not emotionally stable. That level of obsession means something deeper is going on, something that needs to be dealt with in therapy, and possibly more than that. It's not cute and harmless. It's not just how they are. These people will treat you like their property. They will try to isolate you from friends, your family, anyone who sees through them, and anyone who might try to warn you, and they will get in your mind. And that is when they become dangerous. Sara goes to check on Irene and is met with a whole surprise. Rebecca is there and Irene is tied up. Rebecca tries to take Irene out, and just when it looks like things are about to go left and she's about to get our girl, Steven shows up. Meanwhile, Sara is swinging outside the window by a curtain, because it's not a thriller without someone swinging by something about to fall 150 feet. Steven gets knocked out, but even in the middle of all of this, Rebecca helps Sara up because as much as she's angry, she's still obsessively in love with her. It's twisted, but she still has this devotion to her. That is until she felt that Sara was about to shoot her. The two continue to tussle, and well, y'all know the rest. Rebecca truly wasn't well. She needed to be under constant monitoring and in regular therapy, like weekly at minimum. She had a serious mental illness that required long-term consistent support, not just meds, but regular check-ins with a psychotherapist to track her progress, manage her emotions, and also identify her triggers. I even think her care should have involved people around her, close friends, roommates, maybe even her professors, who could discreetly give feedback or raise red flags if her behavior began to slip and she started to act erratic, because she was a danger not just to herself but to everyone around her. She had no control over her emotions or behavior. Add in the fact that she wasn't taking her medication, and unfortunately that combination of unchecked mental illness, emotional isolation, and obsessive attachment made her extremely unstable. And with that being said, this video has come to an end. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Also, make sure your notification bells are turned on so that you always know when I upload. And I will catch you guys in the next one.